We're going to be looking a number of times at the book of Hebrews. So we'll take 3 looks at Hebrews. And this time we're going to be looking at what Jordan has called the jaw-dropping beauty of Jesus in Hebrews chapter 1, which is certainly a chapter that we could spend many months on. But we just want to whet your appetite. So Jordan, why don't you get us started by giving us kind of the backdrop of Hebrews?
Yeah, so Hebrews is sometimes an intimidating book. There's some challenging themes, but it's really got one main aim. And before I even say the aim, let me say, I personally take it as one sermon. The end of the letter says, Hebrews 13:25, I urge you to bear with this brief word. So he calls it brief after 13 chapters, but brief word, singular, of exhortation, sermon. So I take Hebrews to be representative of what a New Testament church sermon would sound like. Well, that alone should lead us to ask some really important questions. Well, if a New Testament average sermon it takes me about an hour to read Hebrews aloud, was about an hour and had this much Christocentric density, then, I would like for a few hundred of my sermons to vanish forever and never be remembered again. So first off, it's one sermon. But the theme is, as you said, the beauty of Christ, really his all superiority. He's better than anything and everything. Yeah. So that's a simple kind of overview.
Yeah, and really, and Hebrews is so practical particularly for the modern evangelical church, because it gives us some very concrete ways to take the superiority of Christ and to apply it in all areas of the Christian life. So if you have the question on your heart, well, as I'm getting to know Christ better through the scriptures, and he's ever expanding before my heart, well, what do I do with that? And it's so practical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just speaking of practical, it's written to converted Jews, so completed Jews who found Christ to be the Messiah, hence Hebrews. And once they came to Christ the Messiah, they started to realize that there's some cost. And so chapter 10 talks about some of the physical challenges. Your property's plundered. Your friends are put in prison. You go identify with them. So there's cost. So Hebrews is written because I think the letter's pretty clear. People were being tempted to trade on Jesus, like embrace all his saving benefits, eschew some of the fidelity and faithfulness. So if I can get Jesus minus the persecution, what compromises do I need to make to retain Christ and not have so much cost involved? So this letter is, let me show you the superiority of Christ over anything and everything in order to enhance your fidelity to him no matter what. And, you're going to meet the King of the Ages one day really soon. So to trade on Christ is a really foolish compromise at the end of the day.
Thank you for watching the clip. We hope that it was helpful for you. If you want to hear the full audio of that podcast, you can find it on any of your favorite podcast apps.